students. This video will provide some guidance for you as you go through one of the most critical aspects of your studies at the Public Health U. The goal of the final assignment is for you to summarize your learning from the course, and in most cases may focus on real-world applications of the topics taught. Now we look at a basic guide to essay planning. Here we'll focus on three core areas. I also call the 3 Ps, namely prepare, plan, and produce. First, prepare. The steps you need to follow. Pay close attention to the assignment questions, instructions, and marking grid before deciding on an essay topic or title you want to work on. Once you've made your title choice, highlight or underline the important terms in the essay. Take a moment to reflect on how many parts the question has, as this will impact on the structure of your essay. Go over the questions again and make a list of everything relevant to the essay. Organize this list under the appropriate heading for each portion of the question. To limit the chance of plagiarism and make it easier to compose the essay, rewrite in your own words. Remember, this is an academic writing, as you need to back up your claims with evidence such as references. Even if an essay does not explicitly ask for your opinion, you will almost always be required to include evidence, examples, or case studies. Choose a few that you believe are important to your work and highlight or make a note of them. Choose the most appropriate ones to add. Finally, now that you have gathered all the necessary information, you can begin to plan. For planning, we will look at 4 areas: introduction, main body, conclusion, and references. Let's begin with introduction. This is usually about 1/10 the length of the essay. The purpose is to introduce your reader to your essay by defining key terms. Here, you also persuade the reader that your essay will result in useful knowledge by briefly outlining the issues you want to discuss and how you would deal with each one and in what order. Main body. To begin, it is best to plan each paragraph. Writing logically necessitates the proper use of paragraphs. As a general guideline, each paragraph should have one distinct major or central point and should cover a brief description of the topic under discussion. You need to explain why the point is significant and how it contributes to your broader arguments. You make sure the next paragraph follows logically, and you back up your points with evidence, and I mean references. Conclusion. This should be roughly the same length as the introduction, or about 1/10 of the essay. It should not include any fresh content, but should summarize the important points and concepts that you've already covered in the main body and give your last thoughts on the main issue. The conclusion brings your work to a close and reinforces the key argument you offered in the body of your paper. References. Citing your sources allows you to acknowledge the contributions and work of others in your writing. At the very least, this should include a reference to the module's resources. Now, the final P, produce. Here, you just write your essay. There's no rule that says you must begin writing at the beginning. If it's easier to start in the middle and finish the introduction later, go ahead and do so. But you should have planned the introduction before starting to write. Put the primary argument of each paragraph in the opening sentence, then use the rest of the paragraph to expand on it or to include instances or proof from the course book. Remember that every case study, piece of evidence, or statement needs a citation in the text. And also remember, you must answer the question that has been asked, not the one you wish had been asked. Be specific in your answers, not too generic. We want to check if you're able to apply the knowledge to the specific scenario given in the instructions. For example, in the course epidemiology, if you mention some biases, don't just give a generic definition, but also explain how these biases can occur in this specific scenario. If you mention methods for data collection, explain how you would do it in a specific scenario you have chosen. When you're finished, double check that you've included the references section and provided a word count. In-text references are included in the word count, but the reference section after the essay is not. Finally, please be careful about plagiarism and see your student handbook for general advice on how to avoid plagiarism. When you submit your assignment, you'll be able to see your Turnitin score, percentage of similarity between your assignment and all resources available on the internet. A Turnitin score equal to 30% or above 30% will be considered as plagiarism, and the assignment will be given a grade of 1%. Thank you, and we look forward to receiving your assignments.